Oh, good morning, folks. Dave Lawrence here again with CyclingSouthernCal.com. Ready to do a little bit of more shoe reviews for y'all. And I guess I'll start out again with just encouraging you to get out there and ride hard, fast, and continuously, and have a good time. If you saw my other reviews about the other shoes, or past shoes, you might remember the Northwave Typhoon. And I sent that shoe back mainly because it was probably a little too small. You know, once I wore a little bit thicker sock, I found that it was kind of cramping my toes a little too much. And the idea that it was a 3-hole shoe, you know, needing a 3-hole cleat adapter for my speed play shoes. And there are other options out there which are 4-hole, where you can just directly mount the cleat onto the shoe. I thought those were better options, which brought me to the Lake. You saw the review, I think, on the Lake CX236, which is a speed play direct, you know, 4-hole cleat design. And then I decided to try out some other new shoes made by DMT. And I got to say, these DMT shoes are really cool. You know, right out of the box. You know, I'll show you this one. This is the DMT Radial. Very cool looking shoe. And you can see this one is the 3 Velcro strap design. So this is on the Radial. Real fine shoe. But you know, I don't think this shoe is going to work for me because, as I mentioned, it's a speed play specific 4-hole design. But I could not get my cleats mounted. I just could. I spent 2 hours trying to get cleats mounted on one shoe, Hannah. And just couldn't get them mounted up. So it just seemed to me like there's something on the alignment of the threads and trying to get the cleat on there. It just wasn't matching up. You know, whether it's me or manufacturing of the plate on the shoe, I can't say. I just know after 2 hours, you know, barely getting 2 screws mounted in. Whereas every other shoe that I've been testing lately, I could basically mount up cleats in, you know, 10 or 15 minutes. So it just didn't make sense. So it seemed to me like there's something odd. Even though I love the look of these shoes and they're really light and so forth, they have the speed play specific mount, like I said. If I can't get the cleats on them, they're no good to me. They're dead to me. Get them out of here. But anyway, there's another DMT shoe that I tried, and just to show you this DMT box, you know, they got kind of a unique way of doing things. Notice how that thing, like a big old alligator coming to get you. I thought that's kind of cool how they designed their box. But just to show you on here some of the details, the shoes are made in Bosnia. And you can see on there, size 9.5 is a 43, I think is what it shows in the Euro. Yeah, 9.5, 43. So that's all I wanted to show you there on the box, is just these alligator chompers coming to get you. And this box came with these shoes, which come with a nice travel bag. And the shoes that are in here are the DMT Prisma. And this is the 2010 version of the shoe. Right here. So aren't those snappy looking with the red and white design? And I didn't show you on the Radial, but you got your Italian flag on the back of the heel cup there. So these were, again, really light, really cool, nice design, but the mechanism here didn't really work for me. I mean, I could tighten it up, but the problem was it seemed like I had to over-tighten it, you know, to keep my heel seated back in the shoe properly. So as a result of the over-tightening, in a sense, as I got a hot spot, and I don't know if you can see here, but you have this raised area here, which to me that creates a... It's all where this is built into the shoe, creating a pressure spot on the top of my foot. It's either this or these little, see these guides in here that are on the top of the tongue? Well, again, there's stuff underneath in the tongue that, in my opinion, was causing pressure spots. And I just didn't like it. I mean, I rode these shoes probably about 6 times over 2 weeks. And every time I rode, I got pressure, you know, hot spots on the top of my feet. You know, specifically a little bit more on one foot than the other, because maybe I was tightening up more on one foot just to, like I said, to get that secure fit. But, you know, this is a nice mechanism. You know, it works well. You got the release here, the red button to pull this apart. You know, you can do that on the fly, you know, on the bike, or, you know, obviously when you're done riding, get your foot out of that thing nice and easy. So this is a good shoe. Again, speed play specific for me. Again, they make it in a 3-hole design as well. And I decided to try these DMT shoes because they were on closeout. They got screaming deals on them. But again, if they hurt the feet, you know, you're not going to want to stay on the bike very long. At least I didn't want to. But I do like this system here, this closure system. You know, it could have worked better. And beyond that, it just seems like the winner in this whole process has been the Lake CX236 with, again, this lacing stainless steel design. You know, kind of like what you have here on the DMT, although it's a different type of filament, obviously. And then the closure on this shoe, the BOA system on the back here, I mean, that's perfect. I mean, there's no pressure going to come through on the foot from here. And then again, as I showed before, you got your release. You pull that out, you lift that up. There we go. So nice and easy. And again, you can do that on the fly on the bike. I mean, you don't need to get your thumb in there. Basically, when you're riding, when you're just trying to relieve a little bit of the tightness, you pull this out, and as your foot sits in there, you kind of just lift a little, and you get that relief that you need. So there, I've got these, the speed play cleats mounted on there directly with the stainless steel sole protector, and these things are working like a dream. As I mentioned before, I didn't like the fact that these don't have the stopper on the toe end, so I put some electrical tape on there. As you can see, most other shoes in the world have that toe stopper. You know, have a stopper, protector, push-off, whatever you want to call it. So I put some electrical tape on these, and I'm not slipping so much, but obviously I'm going to have to replace that because it will eventually rub off. But electrical tape, it's a cheap remedy. And again, just to look at these shoes side by side here, you kind of get a look at the design of these shoes, the shape of the shoes. The Lake, obviously, you can see there's a lot more mesh in there, a lot more ventilation. The DMTs, you can see that these have the ventilation, the mesh over here, a little bit in the tongue. And I thought, just for kicks, get your kicks on Route 66, folks, that I'd slide them on, just to show you what they look like on the feet, how you close this whole mess up. So I could take it to about there, you know, and I am feeling this, and you know, something I read in a review where some folks said that they could feel this thing pressing in, but they didn't get any pain. Okay, now right now I'm not riding, so obviously there's no motion going on. But again, if I wanted to get that a little bit tighter, yeah, now I'm really feeling it. So just getting it to that ultimate tightness, and there we are. You know, over time that's gonna hurt. I know I did it. Whereas on this, you're gonna see here on this Lake shoe, as I tighten this up, again, there's nothing there to create pressure. I mean, we see these guides here, but these aren't creating any pressure. I don't know if it's because of where they're at. You know, compared to these buttons being right on the top of the tongue and these being on the outside, and just this Lake shoe is made out of all leather, that nice kangaroo leather. So you can see I have to tighten up the shoes pretty good, regardless of what brand of shoe I'm using. And looks like the Lakes are the winners, folks. I wish there was something I could do to find a DMT like those darn radials, where I could actually mount up a cleat and get that radial to work. Caroline, will you give me that radial shoe? Okay. Yeah, just throw it over. Throw it. So, you know, it'd be nice if I could actually test this radial shoe, because I do like the simplicity of the Velcro, and once again, that speed play sole. But there's not really a way for me to get a cleat on there, unfortunately. You like my Giro socks? Cool, huh? Alright, folks, for now, Dave Lawrence saying thanks for watching, Get out there and ride. Be good to your neighbor, and peace be with you. I'm going to have a little bit of coffee. I'll talk to you all another time. Bye for now.